I learned to love myself. People have asked me so often, what is my coaching about now? And what's my program about? And what's the result that one could expect to receive from working with me or taking the program? And that result is that line. You will love yourself and your life. Now, of course, it takes some effort and work to get there, and that's what I had to do. But I'm 72 years old, and I can say that now before I die. Most people can't do that or never get to that place where they can say it and own it. And when I'm talking about loving yourself, that means that you love everything about you. Physically, everything you've moved through, everything you've experienced in your life, because you start to understand the value that it held for you. And then you know that you're going to give that value back to someone else, because that's how evolution works. And it takes some time to get to that place because it's a cognitive process. And the reason I could not say just a few years ago that I loved myself is because I couldn't accept my authentic self. That's all that it was. And that is the same for every single person. Because, see, we were born with abilities and gifts and talents that were innate, that were ingrained, that were embedded within us, but we don't always find that for many different reasons. I had a life that was so challenging and difficult that I couldn't understand it. And I judged myself forever because I was constantly not getting there, failing, and no one was understanding, not even my family. We come in with individual blueprints that we're meant to follow. And when we go off of that blueprint, we have trouble in our lives. But we don't always discover that until much later. And again, some people never discover it, but I did. And see, the reason that I couldn't accept my authentic self is because it was different. It was from some unknown place. I'm going through every possible, imaginable difficulty and challenge in my life. And then, but because of what I was doing, what I was able to receive, I changed it all. I healed so many things in my life that seemed couldn't be done, that were beyond conventional wisdom. No, you can't do that. You can't get rid of that, but I did it. I even did something a couple of weeks ago where all of a sudden I could get up and walk because I started owning my authentic self. And then I saw that this is the most important thing that could happen to any person. You cannot become ultimately successful and happy until you own your authentic self. That's for every single person. And sometimes that gets confusing. And I have a message that I received in 2016 that speaks to exactly that, because I was all over the place. You may have had a life where you went from one place to the other, one thing to the other, and never found what you were supposed to do, or haven't succeeded yet, or haven't achieved the kind of success or love or whatever it is in your life. It's only because you have not become your authentic self. Now, I can talk about all this because now all the stuff that I experienced, all the crap that I went through, all the grief has become so valuable because now I understand it, because now I can leave it to the world. It'll be my legacy, and it will cause our world to be better. As you've noticed, the world is in a little difficult place right now. And so when I know that I have something that could help, I can no longer hold that back, which is what I've done for a long time, because I had to move through this cognitive process of accepting what I had done. What I have done is downloaded transformational information for more than 34 years, and actually I've been working on it for 40 years. So yeah, it would do something, and it would cause me to heal everything in my life, emotionally, mentally, physically, to come to the place where I can say I love myself. And that is the result that I have, that people will receive through my program. It's already happening, so I know that it's true. Okay, I'm going to read something to you. This is from 2016, because I kind of started thinking, why do things seem so challenging and I'm going all over the place? Why can't I find it? And this message kind of lays it out. It was in 2016. While your life experience may seem to you at times to be a circuitous one, it is also meaningful and purposeful. It is circuitous because as you move forward in your life, you continually underestimate your worth and value, and that causes you always to seek and desire more. So in that sense, all that came before was meaningful and purposeful. It becomes much easier for you to progress on your journey, so to speak, when you also accept that you will encounter the natural feelings and emotions of that progression, which can be uncomfortable because you are continually moving into some unknown place. Decide to embrace all of it because you are going where you desired. Now, I couldn't have understood that in 2016 when I first received it, and that's what I've done for many, many years. I receive information that is that's ancient, that has healing abilities for everyone, and anyone who uses it, they start to shift. And that's how I shifted. And it was, again, because I received things years ago for all of this time, I couldn't accept that it was me. And it's the same thing for you. You were given something that you're meant to bring to the world that's of value, that has worth. It's not possible that you don't have it because you've lived a life, you've had experience, and you were born. Young people discover that a lot earlier sometimes because we have different evolutionary journeys. We have different paths that we are meant to follow, but everyone has one that's within them, that is their authentic self, that would cause them to be happy, successful, and prosperous if they were to follow it. And then the more of us who do that, our world starts to look very different. It starts to change because we don't want anything from other people, because we know how we can create, how we can manifest what we want to see in our world and in our lives. We all have that ability because it's in our mind. And everything that I've received, all of this information was about changing the mind, creating that mindset that we're all looking for. Well, I did it. I changed into that mindset, and it is a different dimension of existence. And we all have, not everyone will go there because sometimes we don't choose to. It just depends on what you're up to. But if you want to live that extraordinary life, then it is within you and you can do it. And all you have to do is follow the things that I did to get you there. That's all that it is. And you might have heard, I mentioned the other day that I'm going to take 10 people and bring them into the program. They'll have access to this for the full year at just this, just this one price. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking December and I am putting together such robust information that's going to go into this program. I'm revamping things because I want people to come out of this 4 weeks that they're going to do feeling so incredible and on the road to that place where they're going to say they love themselves. And it doesn't matter what you do in your life. Doesn't matter how much success you might have experienced now or where you are or how much you haven't done. Never matters. It's only about what you decide to do now, because you are on a progression, as the message said, and you will move to that next place. And it's uncomfortable at times, but once you do that, the world changes. And that's what happened. I just got to this place where I said, oh, it worked. I love myself. And to see more people have that experience is going to make such a huge difference, and that's going to be my legacy. I hope you join me.